Hey guys, this is Josh with Motobox. Today we're going to walk you through the install of our Aprilia RS660 brake and clutch levers. Your brake levers should come with this pin, which will be what presses into the master cylinder, and your clutch lever will basically be just the lever with the connecting points. So here we have the stock OEM RS660 front master cylinder, and we're showing it on an Aprilia RSV4 factory. Why? Because we did an upgrade on the Motobox RS660 for the track, and we swapped this over to the RSV4 just for an upgrade as well. But this is the exact same front master cylinder that you will have on the RS660. Okay, so what do you need to install the levers? You'll need a number 4 Allen key and a 10mm wrench. So as you look closely into your front master cylinder, you'll notice you have a Allen bolt there, and then under, if we go under here, you'll see that there's a number 10mm nut. So what you want to do, it's very simple. You're going to have to use both hands here. So you want to stick your number 4 Allen key up on the top of there, and then you're going to take your wrench and you are going to hold the nut from underneath, loosen it a little bit because they work together, and then you're going to loosen the Allen key. So once you did that, this should come out, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Okay, once you have the Allen key ready, you're going to put your wrench underneath, you're going to hold the nut, and then you're going to loosen the Allen key and start backing it out. The nut will fall off before the Allen key slides out, or the Allen bolt I should say. Once you reach the point where the Allen bolt is not backing out anymore and just spinning freely, this is the time where you have to pull the pin. You can take some pliers, as sometimes it's a bit greasy and you won't be able to slide it out. Take your pliers and gently wiggle and pull until it comes out. Ready to remove the lever. Simply grab the end, lift, and it will slide out. Now you can grab your new Motobox lever for the install. On your new Motobox lever, you're going to want to take this cylinder with a pin, and you're going to want to screw in the pressing pin to about that position. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's only about 1 or 2 threads showing. So you're going to want to insert that into the cylinder on the lever, just like that. And you're basically going to install the lever in the same position that the stock one was. If you look closely on the master cylinder, there's a gasket with a hole in it. That's where the pin is going to slide in from the lever. So sometimes it's a little tricky to get it back in there, but you should be able to get it in there if you're very careful. Sometimes it doesn't really work, but it ends up sliding in anyways automatically while you're riding. Great, so now you've got the lever ready. You're going to want to line up the pin first, just like that, and then kind of slide in the lever into the pivot point, line up the holes, and you're all set. You're then going to take the push pin and insert it into that hole and tighten it down with your Allen head. Once you tighten it down with your Allen head, you're going to tighten the locking nut from underneath with your 10mm wrench. This Allen bolt, we're going to insert it. If you're doing it one-handed like me, you kind of just push it in a little bit, wiggle it in, you're in. Now you're ready to screw it in. You're going to screw it down all the way until it hits and it's not spinning anymore. And then you're going to go from under with a 10mm nut. You take the nut and you're going to hand tighten it from underneath. It's hand tight. you're going to take your 10mm wrench. I have a ratcheted one here. You could also do this with a ratchet and a 10mm socket. Oops. Alright, all done. And that's the install of the front brake lever. Now you can go in and fine-tune your settings wherever you like it. Also, if you have trouble with the range or the pressure on the lever, sometimes what happens is if this cylinder is adjusted too tight, you're almost going to have a locked lever, which you don't want. So you're going to have to play with that adjustment just a little bit. What you could even do is take some needle nose pliers and you can turn it, and that will back it out or pull it back in to give you a little bit more room for adjustment. Also, very common on most aftermarket levers on this bike, when you turn your bars completely to the left, this lever may touch your fairing just slightly. Now, it doesn't cause any problems at all, but we found this to be very common with every aftermarket lever brand out there. Why? Because the mechanism that we have here to adjust the position extends out the lever. And if you look closely at most brands, that's the same case. So just a heads up, in case you think something's wrong with your levers, that's basically what you'll find in most brands. Alright guys, so here we have the clutch lever. Clutch lever is very simple. It's just basically the lever, there's no other parts. As you see here, you have the same mechanism as the brake lever, and that's pretty much it. Here is the tab for the sensor on the perch for your clutch, and it's actually easier install than the brake lever, so we'll walk you through that in a second. Alright guys, so here we have the clutch lever on the perch on the RS660. So this is a super straightforward install. It's very simple. If you look closely, you'll see this bolt on the perch of your clutch lever. Underneath this bolt, there will be a 10mm nylon locking nut. So you'll need a socket with a 10mm size, and that'll pretty much be it. Let me show you guys. So you're basically gonna take this ratchet, and if you look closely, let's see, there we go. You're gonna go right there. I already backed it out before filming. So you're just gonna unscrew it. Okay. Then you're going to finish taking it out with your hand. It's right there. Okay, then what you can do is you can actually push that bolt with your finger from underneath. Oh, there it goes. Just pushed out. So it may be harder on yours. You may have to wiggle it a little bit or something to get it out. So once that's out, this is a very simple removal. You're just going to pull your lever out, just like that. Then you're going to rotate it, pull on it and rotate it a little bit. And you see your clutch cable right there. Yep, you're just going to slide it out just like that. Now that cable, so that you don't have to disassemble this clutch adjustment, you can just grab a pair of needle nose pliers and pull that out. Now it's important that when you remove your lever, you see that sleeve right on the pivot point? You're going to take that out. You see I'm pushing that out with my finger? Let me get this to focus. There we go. You push it out with your finger and just slide it out and insert that into your new lever. And I'll show you guys that in just a second. Okay, so here we have the old and new lever right next to each other. You're going to take the sleeve and you're going to insert it right into the pivot point right there, and that's it. That's all you need to do with that. Just kind of keep it in with your finger. So then we're going to do the install, which is basically the reverse of what we just did to remove the stock lever. Okay guys, so now we're looking at the bike. You're going to try and get that cable back out. So pretty simple. Take some needle nose pliers. You're going to grab the end of the cable and pull it out gently. Pull it out as far as it goes. Then you're going to want to grab that with your thumb and hold it in place. Then insert it into the slot of the new lever, just like it came off of the stock lever. I'll show you that in a second. I'm filming this with one hand and working with one hand, so you'll have to see it once it's installed. Alright guys, so we got the cable installed on the lever. Now you're going to take your sleeve that you took off of the other lever, you're going to put it in, just like that. Rotate your lever back around, okay? Make sure that cable's lined up. And it's very simple, you're just going to slide it into the perch. See, there we go. It's in there. Make sure your switch is lined up with the tab underneath, right behind there. You can kind of see it. Make sure that switch is behind there. It'll line up once you get it all put together. And then go ahead and put the bolt and the 10mm nut underneath, and you're all set. And I'll show you that in just a second. Okay guys, so you're reinstalling the bolt. Now, when you stick this in there, you have to make sure it slides into place. It has a square cutout, so it's only going to slide into place in one way. So rotate it until it sinks down. So I'll show you right here. I'm rotating it. Okay. There we go. I just dropped in. Okay. So once that's done, go ahead and put in your 10mm nut. You can hand tighten it first. Just like that. Tighten it with your ratchet. Make sure that stays where it should be. And that's it. Install is done. Adjust it wherever you'd like. I happen to like it on number 1 because I have smaller hands. I'm pretty sure that's going to turn into a joke. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email. You can do sales@radiance with a Z at the end.com. Radiance is the new owner of Motobox Inc. Or you could just give us a call and we'll help you out. I just want to remind everybody that phone calls are the best way to get help. Alrighty? Well, thanks you guys for your purchase, and I hope you enjoy the levers. If you have any problems at all, just let us know.